What type of junk journals should we create? Well, that's been the question on my mind since I have started this junk journal series. There are so many different things that I would love to share with you, but we can't do them all at once, unfortunately. So what I thought I would do is to take you through the journey of creating a single signature junk journal. That is one of the basic junk journals that you can create, but one that I create all the time. And actually, every time we create an individual junk journal, if you add this to another individual junk journal size, these are now signatures or inserts. And when you put them inside a cover, you now have a traveler's notebook with inserts. So you see, one little journal can really evolve in how you use it, how it's presented, and what you can do with it. Today, I wanted to share with you just a couple of the older junk journals that I created that are a simple traveler's notebook size, 4¼ by 8¼ and they have a 3-hole pamphlet stitch in them. I love making this size, but as I was using it, I noticed that I really could use a little more room. So that's why I'm excited about using the new hybrid junk journal collections by Country Craft Creations, because all we have to do here is take the decorative paper, fold it in half, and we now have our new journal size. And it's going to give you that extra room that you might need. While we have been creating many albums lately on my channel, I just wanted to show you a few things in a junk journal that can translate over. Here I've just did a couple tip-ins of photos. I've created waterfalls in my journal, and all I did was just use the photo and washi tape. That's a really fun way to add a mini album element into a junk journal without having to do all the bells and whistles. This one's so fun because I have one going portrait, and then down here I did one going landscape. So you get those mini album elements right in a junk journal. This one here is a larger size journal, and it's going to be more along the lines of the size we're creating with this collection. I'm not even sure actually what size it is. So it's more like a 5½ by 8½, but that's the cover. The pages themselves are 8¼ by, I would say, 5. I don't know, they're all different sizes in here. But this journal here is one of my favorite ways to make a journal, and that is by using the hanging file folders. And here's a couple examples for you. I have one in black. These are the Pendaflex hanging file folders you put in file cabinets. And I absolutely love this green color. Ugh, I just love it. These were some old ones I got from work that were being thrown away. And so I said, I'll take those. But that's what we're going to do today. We're going to create a hybrid junk journal, and that's incorporating some mini album components into a standard junk journal design using one of these hanging file folders. Now, before we get started, I did want to mention that even though I'm using a hanging file folder to create my cover, you do not have to have the exact same supplies that I do to create a junk journal. That's part of the appeal of junk journals, is that you create it with the items that you have in your stash or your found items, and you create your journal from that. You don't have to mirror anybody's journal. So if you don't have any hanging file folders in your stash, it's okay. If you have a regular file folder, you could use that. You could also just use cardstock and make a cardstock cover. Or if you want yours to be a little bit heavier, go ahead and use that chipboard. Make the cover how you want it to be for you. Now we're going to set these aside and we're going to get started on the actual signature pages itself. Now, as I mentioned, I'm going to be using the Petals and Letters Hybrid Junk Journal Collection to create this journal. I'll also be using the Companion Junk Journal Kit to go along with that. And if you haven't heard, there's also a new Companion Pack, Companion Pack 2. And it has a lot more elements in it that you can use. It even has a folio, some book covers, and just some really fun elements in there that we can use to incorporate into our junk journal. Now, I don't have that yet in my possession, but it is on the way and I can't wait to get it. I'll definitely be doing a haul to share that with you, and then we'll be incorporating it into our journal. For today, though, we're going to get started on using the main junk journal kit. I've pulled out one of each of the designs to work with. So I have all of those here. And then from the Companion Junk Journal Kit, what I want to do is pull out some of these papers. Now, I really love the gray. I can't help it. But that's so pretty. Okay, I really love both of these, but I think I'm going to go with the gray. Oh, I don't know, you guys. So pretty. And I would like to use at least one of each of the lined and blank pages. So for right now, I'll just have one of each of those. Okay, so that should get us started on the main papers. We're going to score these in half because remember, this is 11 by 8.5. So at 5.5, we're going to score. Now, I think what I'm going to do is flip each page and score on both sides. This way, when I go to fold them, if I decide that I want to fold it this way, it will still fold good. If I decide to fold this way, it'll still fold good. Okay? So that's what I'm going to do to make it a little bit easier for me. Now the first thing I want to do is this page. Now I originally was going to fold this in half like this. So then when it opens, I have my monthly calendar here, and then this can be to the back of the journal. So this will be my outside. As I start to build my pages, I like to kind of match things up and see how they look. Like this might be really nice to have next to a calendar because even though I can write some notes here, this allows me some more room to jot things down. So I think that's how I'm going to do that page. And then I can continue to build on this. Oh, there's so many pretty pages. Let's see. So we could do this. Okay, that's a no. That's a no. That's two abstracts with two abstracts. No. No. Okay, I'm back to this one. I think this will go nicely next to this one. And granted, we are going to be putting pages in between here. So maybe what we should do is not do all of that. No, I need to. So then I know how to build more pages. So what I'm going to do is kind of just let the camera run so you can see just how I'm kind of mapping it out. Oh my gosh, we don't even need to add pages. I just love everything how it's looking right now. Oh yeah, that's much better. Before I had this one with the lines out, right, like that. I didn't like it, so I turned it, and now I like this much better. These bounce off each other. So what I look to see when I'm putting papers next to each other is how they play off of one another. So this area here and having the blank side over here mirrors each other, and I like how that equals it out. And here there's so much going on that having just basic lines on this side works really well. The butterflies here, and that's still in the same color family here. And the golds in this just really bounce off each other on this page and over here. Really fun. Yeah, I'm just loving this already. We could make a journal right here and not add anything else to it, as in pages in between it. That is one thick signature. So you see when you make a signature that the more that you add, the more the pages push out from the center. So then that's when you end up with this staggered look on the edge. Some people don't mind that it's like that, and some people don't like it. So it all depends on whether or not you want to cut this down. So you would be cutting it down to the very shortest one, which is the first one. And then they would all be even. And you're not really cutting off that much of the design, so it will still look okay. I haven't decided whether or not it bothers me. It just goes so well. The colors, they look great together. So I'm not really concerned about it. This is 11 pages right here. And I have created them to where there's 15 pages, where there's 20. It doesn't matter. Your signature could have as many pages as you want it to have. Now, when we're counting pages in a signature, you are probably aware, but I just wanted to go over it. You count the front, the back on each of the pages. So 11 front to back is 22. And then the other part of the journal is 22. So altogether, there are 44 pages when you count front and back all the way through the journal. Okay? Now that we have these pages all in the order we want them to be, now we can add some additional items. If you recall, this is the pile that I used to create the first video in this series about what types of materials you can use. So I'm going to be pulling from this stash to incorporate into this journal. Now some of these elements I'm not going to use right away, so I'll probably just set them aside. I did pull this envelope out specifically because of the coloring, and it goes so well with the coloring in the journal, so we're definitely going to be using that. Ooh, look at that. And I love a good handmade paper. So if we wanted to add some handmade paper, we could add a short piece. I don't know, I'm gonna think about that one. Let's add the things I definitely want to put in there. Glassine bag, yes please. I love a good glassine bag. Now you can add it like this on a page. So then you have a pocket here and a pocket back here. So we'll put that one up there. So I'm just going to take this doily. I'm going to line up the sides best I can. And then fold in half. That could go here. Or another good spot would be here. For this doily, I think the coloring plays better with this than the previous page. So we'll let that sit there for a moment. Here's the fun pieces I like to add. Just a regular coffee dyed grid paper. This is tracing paper that's been coffee dyed. I love the sound of this in my journals, and it's semi-transparent, so that's another fun element to add, a little sneak peek to the page under it. Now I'm just trying out different ways of placing the papers, whatever I feel is good. I was trying to pull the green out over here onto this side, but I'm not sure that's working. So I'm coming back to this. I really like this green. I think that'll work better. We'll trim that down later. All right, let's take a look at this. So as you can see, it's kind of noisy now. As you can see, when you go through and continue to add to each of the pages, it starts bulking up pretty quickly. So I like that this is just a good layout. I love that. This is kind of cute. Having that there. Figure out the back later. So you could do it long ways, or you could take it and fold it in half like this and put it in your journal. And then you would have a nice set of windows here. I do like doing it that way, I must say. For long ways, you would attach it this way after we cut it down a little bit. And then you'd get more of the page layering. I think I like it this way. Okay, we're gonna do it that way. So like I said, you really just go through, put the pages that feel good to you, what you think look good together, or just throw it all in there and make a mash book. It's really up to you and how you want to do it. So we could put our little glassine bag here. So why don't we put that there? You know, or we have those great pockets that we cut out and prepped. Ooh. We could even add this in here, a little envelope, just so many options. So I'm just gonna lay that there for now. Ooh, that would be good on here too. Ugh. Like I said, there's just so many options. Do we want something in between these two pages? I could do some dictionary page. That's exactly what I wanted to do, because I wanted to pick the rose definition out. So I'll be back. Now I have an old dictionary from 1923, but I just can't bring myself to tearing it apart yet. So I'm actually using this dictionary page from a 1985 dictionary, which is still old, but yeah, I just can't bring myself to tearing that other one apart, even though it is falling apart already. But anyways, I think this would be fun because it has the definition for rose on it. Yeah, down here is the definition for rose, and since there's so many roses, I thought that would be fun to include. The problem is the word rose is down here at the bottom, on the wrong side, of course. We could fold this up to make a little pocket. Fold this down. Fold this down right where the word rose is. Let's see, we're gonna have to go a little bit further. And we could fold this in half. Aha, rose is right here, but it's rosé. I guess I'm okay with that. So we could actually cut this, have it flip up, and glue this side down and make it a pocket where you tuck in here. Or we could just glue these two together and have a little pocket here, which is probably what I'll do. And then on the other side, same thing. And the word rose is right there. I think I like that. Yeah. So that works. Don't have anything there. Maybe this green paper. This is looking very yellow. Maybe this would look good in here. Because that green is dark there. It's kind of got that hue going on. Or this. So there's a nice little border going on there that has some brown hints. I don't know, I'm thinking that might look good. What do you guys think? We'll just build out on this. So I'm going to switch out this doily with this one that I found in my stash. It actually has roses on it, and I think this would be really cool. Just not there. All right, so that one still goes there. Where could we put it? Let's see, how am I gonna fold this? This. Nope. I'm sorry for those that don't like crinkling sound, but I'm keeping that in. How's that? And we can still have this. We could even attach these two if we wanted to, and just cut around it, make a little pocket. I think I like that here. The only other place I have is there. Which I don't think it goes with anything. Now, even though I'm putting most of the time one item in between the sheets, you can do multiple items. So that's what I'm going to do for right now. Now that we have all of our pages together, the next step that I like to do is go through and start adding a little bit of ephemera or additional pages that I might use as tuck-ins and things like that onto my pages. I thought I would walk through this process with you as my first layer of embellishing, and then I'll come back, we'll do the cover, and then I will finish any minor details of embellishing off camera, but show you in the final reveal. On the outside of my cover for my journal, what I'm going to do is just paperclip on this little Polaroid. I just think it's so cute. And I have one of these little baby paper clips, and I can put it right in that same spot of where there's already a paper clip. So for right now, I'm not adding any fabrics. I might do that in another phase or off camera, but I will definitely share that with you in the end. So on this page, I'm leaving blank. I like it just that way. Here, what I thought we would do is a little bit of decorating. So I've paper clipped in the elements that I want to add to the pages. So here I took a piece of fabric that I have, lace fabric. This is 3 inches by 1. And at the top of this page, it has the little paper doily up here. And I thought it would be cute to kind of add it to that cluster. And then it can become a little tuck spot for a journal card, which I think will look really cute on this page. So that's what I'm going to do here. For my doily, previously we had it where the pink was on the outside. But as I noticed when opening the journal, it would end up showing the white side anyways. So the way that I'm combating that is to take and put the white on the outside so that when it does open, it will actually open up and probably reveal the pink side. So we'll see how that goes. On this, I'm going to use the little envelope that's included in the ephemera, as well as one of the little baby tags and a sentiment. And I'm going to do a little bit of a cluster here. And then on the inside, I'm just going to add this adorable little stamp that was part of the ephemera. I might add some fabric with that one as well. So that's what I'm going to do for these pages. Now, I should have mentioned earlier, when I go to start decorating pages, I do not put them in my journal until they're all done. The reason I do that is because it's easy then to take this part of the journal and remove it and only work on the pages that you want to. And this way you're not always fighting your book, because you see how bulky it's already getting, right? So if I had this all together trying to decorate this, it just becomes a little cumbersome. So for me, I like to decorate my pages first and then bind my journal. So let's get started on doing that. I'm just going to use regular art glitter glue to add my fabric pieces down. I do not have any Fabri-Tac, I don't think. Or if I do, it's in another room and I'm not gonna go get it. Now, if you are one that likes to put your journal together and then decorate it, by all means, go ahead and do you. This is just how I prefer to work. So when I tuck that in there, yeah, it's gonna go all the way up in there. I like that. So we'll let that dry before we tuck that in. And we'll work on our doily. So I'm gonna go ahead and unpaper clip this one as well. As you can see, I already figured out what I was putting on the other side of this, so we might as well just do the whole thing together. So I just folded that the opposite way. Like I said, I'm going to make this a pocket by gluing it on 3 sides. Now, another thing when working with doilies, I like to have a scrap piece underneath it for if I put an item over the holes so that the glue doesn't go through to the next page or whatever. So I'm just going to put a piece of paper in there. So you see, if I would have glued that on in my journal, some of the glue from that envelope could have stuck to the page where it did here. So that's why I do that. And a little tag. And I may add ribbon to that later. Again, I'm going to do that at another phase. Let's see, how was I going to do this big word? Maybe I was going to cut it in half. Let's see, can we put that in there? Yes. Let's see. I think it needs a little bit more down here to even it out. Because you want it to go up in there evenly. Yeah, that's good. Okay. Let's do that. So I'm just going to cut this in half. Since I'm cutting it half, I'm going to go ahead and cut off my rounded corners. Ink up my edges. I must be honest, I feel a little off my crafting game because I have had to take a break from doing my junk journal and focus on creating the next collection. And so that has taken a lot of time. Plus we had a Country Craft Creations virtual retreat, which I am a part of behind the scenes as well. So, you know, I've been busy, but I just haven't been able to create. So I'm having a hard time getting balance. I don't know how you guys manage all the things, I feel like I'm just not balancing it very well. Maybe you can give me some helpful hints. Oh, that's cute. Okay, I'm just winging it here, but I do like that. That's cute. Okay, and then on the inside, I was going to put this stamp, but I do want to get some lace for that, I think. I have this lace that I got from Country Craft Creations, Frank Garcia's Christmas Market. I haven't even used it, but it's so gorgeous. It would go perfect right here. Cut off a little snippet. I don't know, what is that? Is that supposed to be something on the inside? Oh, maybe I got it upside down. I think what I'll do is cut around it, like the oval part in the middle. I'm gonna bring this up here. So I'm gonna cover up most of the part from the other side. So since the fabric is a little thick, I'm adding some foam adhesive on the back because if I don't, it's just going to bend it down, and then this way it'll be more even. All right, so I'm just guessing. There we go. Might need some more. These little foam squares from Country Craft Creations are awesome. I think they're like 1/16 of an inch wide, but they're like the perfect height when you only want a little bit of dimension. There, like that. And let's see, let's go ahead and do this one. I think I'll just do that one. Make that a little pocket too, and then if I add something to it later, I have the opportunity to do that. See, I could put something still in here. And then on the back side, I should add something here. So I'm just using some fabric scraps when I'm laying them down. I don't know, I'm liking this here. I'm gonna flip this over even though this is the back side, I think. Okay. So if you saw my video about the companion pack 2, I mentioned that we had a little printing issue and our journal cards were not properly aligned. So they're off about 1/4 of an inch. I showed how you could cut this down, this part right here, and then you would just have a slimmer journal card. I also showed that you could add ribbon or washi tape down the side, and that would cover it up perfectly good as well. Let's see, we could put this ribbon down the side. I think that will work. Let's use some adhesive tape instead, because I think it will adhere more quickly. guess this doesn't have a wrong or right side. I'm not sure. Looks like you can see the stitching more on one side than the other. Okay, I'm just making sure that it's not showing through on this side. I don't know. I don't want that. Let's see if it holds it. I think I'm going to tack down this side. Maybe that will help it stay up in there a little bit better. Yep, that's the secret sauce. And then with this having that there, oh, that's cute. I like it. I kind of want this on here, but if I put that on there, it's going to be, will it hold it in there? Ooh. We'll think about that. I have two little snippets there. Okay, so that's how that turned out. I love it. We're just going to tuck that up in there. That's working great. You know what? Since we have this page open, will that confuse you guys if I do the decorating for a whole page? It's so much easier. That's how I usually do it. I don't know. I don't want to confuse y'all. So if we put this back together, this is how it will look. I love it. I think it looks great. And then we have our cute little tag. I love that. Oh, and that looks so good together. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so now we're on to our next one. I'll try to do these a little bit quicker. I feel like I'm going in slow motion. So nothing on this page, and on this page I have the 2 concert tickets as well as the ephemera piece from the folio that was included in this collection. I'm just going to tack this down and then tuck these little tickets in there. I think that's going to be cute. I just love that idea. I'm kind of going to go right at the end of the reveal there. I don't know how much I'm going to need, but just putting those in. I could probably even tack those down if I wanted to later. I feel like everything I'm doing might fall out, but we'll see. Okay, that's good for me. Then we have our tracing paper. Love, love, love the sound of this. I'm going to remove this. This is the other side. And let's just take this whole bit out. So much easier. So I'm going to use the envelope from the collection. And I want to add pattern paper to the inside of this. So I'm just going to lay this on top of the pattern I want to use, and then trace it and cut it out. So I'm lifting the flaps because I don't need to cover the flaps. I just want to cover this part in here. And I don't even really need to go all the way down, just to right about in here. So we'll just mark it there. We'll see how this works. Now, because we're tracing the outside of this piece, it's probably going to be slightly larger than this, so I'll have to trim it down. Or when you're cutting, cut on the inside of your trace. Okay? So that's what I'm trying to do, is just go right on the inside of it. Oh, I don't know why I did that. Funny. So when I add this here to check it and I fold over this flap, it keeps pushing this way. This one works fine, but this one, you see, and then it bunches it up. So I have to keep trimming this side down. I'm not a straight cutter, y'all. Not at all. All right. That works. Nope. Still bunchy. Maybe I need to go this way. Hope I didn't just ruin it. Okay, fine. Going to ink up my sides. I can do any trimming afterward. So that's really cute. I like having that pattern on the inside there. Okay. So I'm just going to glue this down on 3 sides, again, making it a tuck spot on the back side. Putting up about 1/4 of an inch from the edge. I have to open this up because I have a paper clip there and it is getting in my way. Okay, so my little tag will go there. As a closure, I'm going to use the little wax seal that was included in the collection. And I think I'm going to use adhesive tape for this. I want it to have a little bit of give, and the adhesive tape will do that. So I'm putting this down here in that space that I left, the 1/4 of an inch, and I'm going to try and center this. Is that going to be about right? I don't know. There we go. So now we have a closure for it. There. Okay, so that's looking good. It needs something up here, but I'm not quite sure what I'm going to put there yet. But I did pull out a sentiment that says love letters, and then I had this butterfly in my stash. It's actually like a cork butterfly with stamping over it, really cute. And I think I'm going to put that here. I like that. And I like bouncing off the idea of a butterfly here and one here. I like that symmetry. So I might put something fabric up there at the top, but it definitely needs something, I think. Well, I'll figure it out. Whoa. What's nice about these is they already have adhesive on the back sides. I like it. There we go. That's cute. So that page is done. Now we could go ahead and do the back side of this page. And what I'm doing there is really just adding one of the little pockets that was included and one of the tags. And I'm just going to put it in that same vicinity. Guess I'll use my little scoreboard here. Now, as you can see, this pocket or envelope is right here. I think we're going to be on the inside of that. Yep, we certainly are. Actually, it looks kind of cool. We could put some fabric down. I don't know, do you guys see that? I don't know, I kind of like the look of it. I think I'm just gonna put it down. I'm gonna put it down all the way though, so it does cover this part. I don't really care for that. Oh, but then it takes away from that. Let's see. All right, I'm just gonna do it. So I was up about 1/8 of an inch. I don't know, there's something about that I like because the colors just go in, but you know, I might do something a little later. So as I do this, what I'm struggling with is only working on one side. I really like to just do the whole page when I'm looking at it. So let's do a little recap and regroup. The way I'm going to do this is fully work on one page at a time. So on the front side of the page, I just added the paper clip with the little, I'm wanting to add fabric to everything. Oh, look how cute that is. Let's see. Okay. Right there, right? How's that? That's cute. Okay. So there's that. I'm doing nothing to this side. And on the back side for right now, I don't have any plans. So this page for now is done. So I'm going to put this one back on my journal and take the next page off. Now for this page, we're not going to do anything to the front. We already did this side. We did the little doily in the center. Let's do this side over here. And all I did was take out one of the little pockets and tags. And going to put that in here. Okay. Simple, simple. It's nice having the pockets pre-made. Then we don't have to take the time out to do it. Okay, and like I said, I'm going to add fabric to my tags later. So now this page is done. On the back side, I wasn't going to do anything. Okay, so now I'm bringing my journal out. You know what? I think I'll put these in 2 stacks. These that are done, and then the ones that we're working on. Okay. So I'll put these up here. Oh, I'm liking this. We're getting a system. I'm taking this page off. There we go. And I'm going to set this aside. So over on the side, I have my pile of my done pages, and I'm going to just put my journal folded on top while I work on this one. So on the front, I'm not doing anything right now. I opened it up. We added the butterfly, the concert tickets. On this side, the right side, I'm going to do a double pocket. These were part of the folio, I think, these little pockets. I'm not sure. Haven't looked at that collection in a while. I've been working on the other one. So let's see, I'm going to put this. These are part of the journal cards and ephemera that was included in the main collection. So let's see. I'm trying to just figure out where I want to place my pockets. Oh, I think I was going to overlap them. Is that what I was going to do? Just a little. Oh, that's a good spot. Okay, so the good spot is right where the words are down here. So like you kind of see this fading, and then it kind of comes out to the edge. So I'm going to put it right here in the middle of this one. So I'm going to put the top one down first. Glue on 3 sides. And try and put that in the middle. I think that looks good. Flatten it down. Okay, I'm glad we got our system going now. And then I'm going to put this one over top. I'm going to overlap it enough to where, let's see, do we want that to show? I don't. So I'm going to cover it. Let's see. Yeah. All right. So I overlapped it to where you would not be able to see anything in the cutout. If you want to leave yours, you know, a little bit lower, that's okay too. I hope this is straight. I think so. From the angle I'm looking at, it's a little hard to tell. So that will go up at the top, and this will go at the bottom. Now let's see, I do have some cute little things here, like this. We could put this right in here, let's see. I mean, I could even put that in here with it. Well, that's cute. Let's do that. I'm just going to staple on this little remnant. And just tuck that in there. It's just a little tag I had in my stash. Yeah, I like that. It's cute. Okay, for now, that's what I'm doing. And on the back side, I'm leaving that plain because this is prime real estate for journaling. Okay, so this goes in the done pile for now. Anyways, we bring out our next page. This is so much easier. Okay, so we've finished this one. On the inside, we did our little pocket here. And I'll probably come back and do more. But like I said, when I do that, I'm just going to do it off screen. I can't show you every little detail when making a journal when you go to decorate, because there's just so much time invested in that we would be here forever. Sandy Trefker, she did a video showing you step by step. It's fabulous. It's 7 videos long, and it's a gorgeous junk journal. Oh my gosh, I'll put the link down below because you have to go see it. She puts family photos in it. It's like a family heirloom journal. Oh, it's gorgeous. You got to go see it. So anyways, I'll have that link down below for you. But on the next page over here, I'm just going to do the same thing. Add one of our pockets that are already pre-made for us. And was I going to do that in the middle? I don't know. I think I'm going to put this one over a little bit to the side. Again, I don't know why I have this thing about maybe about 1/8 of an inch up. Doesn't really matter. Just trying to make sure that's even. And I'm going to put in my tag. Telling you, having these pockets in the collection makes it so much easier. Now on the back side, I don't like the looks of this one, where I did like the looks of this one. I don't know, it's the coloring or something. So let's see. Okay, so I can't decide what to do on this side. So I'm just going to move on to the next page. Again, on this one, I'm leaving this as is because it already has a journaling spot. And then on the inside, I've got some things planned out here. Let's start with this down here. So what I've decided to do is pull a glassine envelope from my stash. I love these kinds of envelopes. They're so fun. They're even great to emboss if you've ever done that before. And then I have a journal card, which I should probably fix. But I'm going to include that here and make a little pocket out of it. And I don't know how well what glue will work with glassine. I haven't used it in such a long time. I don't remember if it's better to use adhesive tape or if it will be okay with the wet adhesive. So we'll give it a go. What's great about the glassine envelopes is that, you know, you can still see some of the design through it, and I just love that. So I glued this down on 3 sides because I want to make it a pocket, and I'm going to include this little piece from the collection. How are we doing here? I think it's sticking. And then I was going to put this down kind of as the closure that can be tucked down under there. There's also some faux washi in the collection, and I thought it would be cute to have a little tag up here at the top and put a washi across it just to kind of fill up that space. I mean, I guess you could do it in the middle, but that's too symmetrical for me. And I don't know, I kind of like that over here. And just tuck that right on in, and that page is done. On the other side, I have the key and the lock. And oh, my other key got damaged. That's right. So I can't double side my key. We could do like a bulb pin. And actually, I'm just gonna poke it right through that little top part at the heart. Now see, we need some nice little fabric right there. So I'm gonna find some. Let's give this one a try. It's lace heart trim, another Frank Garcia strawberry milkshake collection. I'm kind of liking the minty color here. Oh, it would go with that. Oh, I love how that happens. Almost thinking we could maybe do something like that. Bunch it up. Let's see. Okay, we're gonna give it a go. There we go. That's cute. And then on the back side, I don't think I'm going to do anything to that right now. So these are moving along pretty good without me doing a whole lot of explanation. Oh, wait, I take that back because I have some for this one. Of course. All right. Okay, for this one, I'm gonna get rid of my little. I took out one of the ephemera pieces and I was just going to tack it down here on two sides. So in case I do want to add a little tag or something to it, I can, but I just like the idea of adding that here. Now on the inside, we're going to do something different, so we'll hold on to that one. But down here, I was going to just do a little floral cluster with a word sentiment. Yeah. So I'm just going to put these down random like. And nothing on the back. So we're back to the inside of this page. And I wanted to insert one of the recipe cards. Now, the great thing about the recipe cards is you can cut these apart, use them as two separate pieces. You can cut them apart and make them back to back this direction. Or if you fold this up, you can glue this together and have your recipe card flip like this. And you can also just glue this on two sides and make a recipe card with a pocket. So there's lots of things you could do with this. You could even glue it this way and have your pocket be here or even here, you know, lots of different ways that you could use this. But I did want to include one in the journal. So I thought about doing like a waterfall. So I'm going to make this a little bit longer than my prototype here. So it'll be 4.5 inches wide by 7.5 inches long. We're going to fold in about 4.5 inches. This one was at 4. So we have our two pieces. I'm just going to show you how we're going to do it, and then I'll find out what paper I'm using. 4.5 by 7.5. You're going to take both your pieces, turn them this way. You're going to take one piece and score at 4.5 and fold and burnish. The second piece at 4. So then when you put them together like this, you will have a 1/2 inch staggering for a nice little waterfall. And then that will become a pocket where we can tuck in our recipe card. See, the recipe card fit perfect, so that's why we need to go a little bit wider so that it's actually a pocket. Okay, and then I thought about taking one of the little tabs and putting it on the side of the recipe card to make it easier to pull out, maybe, or just for decoration, really. So that's what that's about. Okay, I'm going to pick out my paper for this, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I have my two pieces of cardstock. I decided to use the burgundy artisan cardstock. I love this color, and I love this artisan paper. These roses are a very deep, almost a burgundy red, so that's why I've chosen to use this color. Plus my recipe card is pink, and I think it will go with it. And I already had cut into this paper with the lace and butterflies, so I thought I would use these. I've got my two pieces cut down to 4.5 by 7.5. Like I mentioned, and I mentioned we're going to score one at 4.5, and then the other one at 4. And then I cut my pattern pieces to be 4 1/4 by 3 1/4. And my second piece is 4 1/4 by 2 3/4. So I think what I'm going to do is just go ahead and fold and burnish on these and add my pattern paper and then put it all together. This will give me a more defined line to know where to place my paper. So now when I make this, I usually use 1/8 of an inch border. I don't know if I said that earlier, but that's what I'm using. You can certainly adjust any of the measurements to fit the size border that you want around your elements. I don't think I did that one very good. The one that was scored at 4.5 goes on top. And the one that was scored at 4" goes on the inside. So then when you fold them, you have that 1/2 inch spacing between them. Initially, I wasn't going to add pattern paper to the insides of these, but now that I see it staggered, I don't know what I was thinking. So I am going to add pattern paper to these last two. Let me give you the measurements for that. So on the inside of the one that you scored at 4, you're going to go 4 1/4 by 3 3/4 if you're using 1/8 of an inch border. For the one that you scored at 4.5, you're going to need a piece that is 4 1/4 by 4 1/4. Okay. Now, just a little tip, if you are making mats for this, when you go to make the two on the inside, if you cut the paper at 4 1/4 inches wide here, then I cut the bottom at 3 3/4. Yep. So that will go in the first one. And then what I did was I took this and turned it this way. So when I cut this one, I turned the paper this way. And I cut off this, was what I needed, right? So then I had this left. So I turned it the other way because I wanted more of the lace. So then I cut it at, what was that, 3 3/4? No, 4 1/4. So then this way I cut it at 4 1/4. So then all you're left with is this little strip of waste, which I'll probably save anyways. And then this fits right here. So just a little helpful hint on saving paper and how to cut for the insides of this little waterfall. Now that these are ready, there are several ways that you can adhere them together. One way that you could do it is to use ribbon or twine or thread and put it through on the inside, bring these around, and I'm showing you with this because that's what I have handy, and it's because it's not the way I'm going to do it. But I'm going to just tie a bow up here at the top, hopefully. And then they would be adhered together. Like, you won't have these little tassels. I don't know, this is cute. But these are big tassels to put in the middle of a book. So yeah, I won't be using them. But that would be really cute to use twine or ribbon and tie this around, tie it together, and then have your little bow here at the top. Now, what I'm going to do is staple my pieces together. But I wanted to show you that that is an option. So I'm using my We Are Makers staple board. And I'm just going to line these up where I have the score marks. And then I line it up with the line going across the board. Hopefully I get it right. Okay. And now they are stapled together there at the top. I think I have a love-hate relationship with that machine. Okay, that's all together now, and I'm going to glue my sides down to make my pocket. So I went up about 1/4 of an inch and maybe 1/2 an inch. I did not think about a closure. Yeah, it's definitely going to need. So I'm gonna glue this on 2 sides. To get this to stay down, I'm just going to use a little heart paper clip. You could add ribbon around this if you want. There we go. And then the back side, I'm not doing anything there. Now, before we move on to the rest of this, I added this dictionary piece, which I think I folded with you guys, right? I think I did. But I decided to just take 1 page out of an old dictionary, and I folded it up about 3 inches. And then I fold over the top about 2 1/4, give or take. And then I just folded that in half. So what I'm going to do is wrap that around in the center. I don't know what it is with me and small pieces in between my pages. I just tend to go toward that direction rather than add another whole page. I just like adding the small pieces so you can see all the layers. And in that, what I'm going to do is to take these 2 journaling cards that match. I'm going to create a little booklet out of these 2 to go into that pocket. So I guess what we should do is glue this together. What I like about this is the rough edge. I just love that. Now for these, let's see. I'm just going to use one of my scrap pieces, and I think this will be perfect. So I'm going to glue this over, you know, that part that was incorrect. So I'm just using a scrap piece here. Nothing fancy. I'm going to take this side. Let's see. So that was probably about 1/4 of an inch. So I really only need 1/4 of an inch here. So I'm going to cut this down. And I'm going to cut this down a little bit as well. Okay, so I cut that down a little bit. I'm going to flip this over. So you would need about 1/2 an inch hinge. I'll give you the measurements here in a minute. I just want them to be back to back. To cover this up, I'm just going to add another piece of that scrap paper. So now we have a little booklet that we can put in here. Can put it in long ways, which is really nice, or stick it out to the side like that. And on the other side of this, I was going to include another journal card over here. You can decorate this later, but that's this part. For this, I think I was just going to add it up here at the top. I think I was going to try and bunch this one as well. Now, if you want to know how you can do bunching without sewing, just use some adhesive tape. I'm going to put it across the top here. And then I'm just going to start folding my pieces on top of each other. See, I've already got a nice little crease there. I'm going to fold this one into that. So then you have a nice little bunch, right? And then you can add your final piece on top. Like, how cute is that? Oh, I love it. Just a little decoration. Now, inside, I wanted to use the bingo card and the postcard. And what I'm going to do here is just use the postcard as a belly band for my bingo card. Easy peasy. So just glue that down on 2 sides. I'm just kind of eyeballing where I want it. It's not even in the center of the page. It's actually about almost 2 3/8 inches down from the top. And then I'm going to stick my little bingo card in there. For the other sides of the paper, I'm just leaving them as is because that's nice journaling area. Now, for this, we could add a little flower. That would be cute there. Oh, don't we have stamps? Oh, well, I can't find my stamps. Oh, I like that right there. But I know there's stamps in the collection that you could use to put there. That's cute. Okay. Now, for mine, I found this fun paper. I love just adding different types of textures into my journals. And I really love this brown color, just really went. So I have some little elements that I want to put on top of this. Just some simple little ephemera pieces. Now, I guess I'll leave it like a pocket, but I don't know if I'm going to put anything in it. I don't know where I want to put this. I'm just going to stick it down. Kind of like it there. On the inside, let's see. Ooh, it bled through. Okay. Since this piece is so thin, I added some washi down the center of it. Now what I'm going to do is glue on my washi tape partially and just kind of make these into little pockets. So I'm going to have some of it hang off the side. But you would be able to tuck something in there. And just another way to use the washi. Or can I do it? You know what? I think, yeah. This will make it easier to turn. And that should dry. Okay. Now, for this piece, I don't have anything going on with that piece. Some of these I had things and some of these I didn't. So when I was putting this together off camera, oh, here's my stamps. I felt like it was missing something when we went through and picked out all the pages and everything to go in it. So what I did was, so I printed out this sheet of music and then I flipped it over and I ran it back through my machine and printed out these really pretty florals. So what I ended up doing was at, you know, almost 2 3/4, I folded it up and I probably just guessed, and then I folded it in half. So this was originally sized at about 7 3/4 by about 9 5/8, just to give you an idea of the size of the paper. So it is smaller than the size of our base journal. And then again, you get that nice layering effect, which is what I like. You can print another page and add it to be the same size if that's what you want to do. So for here, I'm just going to glue down the side of my pocket. I think I'll do that on both sides. So in this one, I have this tag, which again, I'll do the tops later. And I wanted to add a little stamp here, and I'm going to have it above the edge of the pocket. I don't know why. I just feel like it. Going to flip this open. And on the inside here, I wanted to add some more washi and put in one of those cute little Polaroids. So I'm just going to add adhesive to the two ends. And I kind of wanted it at an angle, so I'm just sticking it wherever and then putting this down in there. I love that it looks random and that it was something added later as like a memorabilia piece. Now up here in the corner, I had this little remnant, and then I had previously cut this little bottle out, and I wanted to use it because it's so cute. So I'm going to just glue this little crochet lace onto my page. Just random piece. And then I'm going to put this on top. I just think it's cute. Now on the back side, I'm cut down one of my journaling cards so I can just put that in as is. I love that butterfly. And then for the front of this pocket, I cut out this scrap piece that is 1 7/8 by 2. And this is the Polaroid that I think I messed up when I used my scan and cut. So I cut out the image and I cut that down to 1 5/8 by 1 1/2. And I thought, oh, you know what? I can just make my own Polaroid. Just like that. Simple, simple. I probably should have used adhesive tape because this is a shiny surface. And it may not take the glue very well, but we'll see. Yeah, it slides a little bit. How cute is that? It looks just like a little Polaroid. And I think I'll do the same as I did the other one and have it come up above the pocket. And then here again, you have a nice little layered look. Love it. Okay, I'm going to put this aside. Here's our next page. I did not have anything on this one yet, so I'm going to set that aside. Now, I did show you the envelope that I selected. And what I did, let me show you how it looked originally. When I first picked out this envelope, it's because I loved the color on the inside. I just felt that it really matched the collection. So I was thinking, okay, how am I gonna decorate this or whatever? And I thought, oh, why don't I just open it up and look how beautiful it is? And so I just, undid the sides and I flipped everything around. Now I do think I'm going to glue this piece down. So when this goes up, I don't even really have to decorate this any further. So there's so many things that you can do with just regular household envelopes that you get in the mail. So don't pass those up. Oh, I see. When I glue that down, it's going to cover this. So we should put something pretty there. Okay. Oh, I do have this. Oh, that'll look nice. Oh, I could put this whole thing in the window. No, I don't think it's big enough. Wait, yeah, it is. Let's do it. Okay. Let's see. I thought it was long enough. There we go. Oh, I don't think it's just slightly short. I think what I'll do is just add some washi so it sticks down. It's on the inside, nobody's going to see it. And now I can glue this part down. Again, if you watch Sandy Trefker's video that I keep talking about, I think I should cut I don't know. She does an envelope like this and she recovers it with masking tape. It turned out so good. I wanted to recreate it, but then I thought, oh, I already had this idea going. But oh my gosh, she's got lots of good ideas in that video. Okay, now here is where I'm going to probably add some patterned paper, or I could put these little flaps over it. This one looks good, but this one not so much. Maybe if I cut it down a little bit, let's see. Yeah, that'll work. Okay. And then take it and fold it in half. Mine's going to be a little stiff now because I added that additional piece. I love that. The colors are perfect. So then when this is wrapped into your journal, you know, you have a nice little window of decoration there. We can add some more on top. And then you have a pocket here. And then when you go to the other side, you have a pocket here. And then we could do decorating here. Now, I don't really have anything planned out for decorating on this, but I did want to show you how versatile these window envelopes are that you get in the mail. So definitely recommend them. Okay, so I'm just going to set this piece aside. That is done for now. I did not have any decorating on the next page either. For this doily, I really didn't have any plans for it, so I'm just going to leave that as is. I did have plans to add a tab. Now, previously, I showed you a little smaller piece of this drywall paper, but what I ended up doing was just getting my roll out and making another piece. So my original size here is 12 inches long and 8 inches wide. At 3.5 inches, I folded up from the bottom, and then I just folded it in half. And what I'm going to do is put little tabs on them. I'm going to put my little tab here or up here. Like it down here. Okay, so let's glue these shut. So you can kind of see what I'm doing initially is just the simple type of decorating just to get a flow for the journal. And that's usually how I do it. I go through and do some immediate embellishing, and then when I'm all done, I go back through it again and then add more embellishing. And sometimes, you know, I just leave it as is. Once you do these for a while, you're going to get a system to how you like to put your journal together. In the beginning, it's good to mirror somebody to just get the flow and the feel of how putting a journal together works. But over time, you're going to get your own rhythm and own preferences. So it becomes more like, you know, your journal. I'm going to put this one here. Now I'm looking to see if these are exactly the same on each side. It doesn't matter to me really. Just adding them. And then I can add something on the inside and the outside of these later. So that goes off to the side. Back here in the back is where I really started to not have anything mapped out. So I'm just checking these. Okay, so the next 3 pages, I did not have anything mapped out because I wanted to see what I had done. On the center page, I wanted to add this oval, I know that. But I thought I was going to add a doily or something. There's something slightly regal about this. I don't know what it is. It looks regal to me. I think I'm going to do it. So when I glue this down, I'm going to glue it down like a pocket. About 1/4 of an inch up. Let's see. Oh, this would be really cute in here. Remember, I was going to use it with this, but now I'm thinking this is adorable right here. So, let's see. Okay. Okay, so that's cute. Now, this is my center page of my journal. If you saw one of my videos that I previously did, I showed you how to create the folio that is part of Petals and Letters. So this is all ready to go. It's all decorated. So cute. Love a little file folder in here. So when we put this in the journal, it'll be sewn in right here at the fold. Now, to keep this closed, I did mention at the end of that video that you could use your little circle, and I think that's what I'm going to do here, is to attach it. And then, you know, it would just go right underneath it. So that's what I'm going to do here, is to just get that ready. Yeah, so that'll be right in here. Boink, boink. So cute. Okay. So that is all of our pages decorated up to this point. Now, like I said, I'm probably going to go back through it and add more to the pages, but I'll probably do that offline because you see how long it takes to, you know, decorate just even a little bit to get started. So what I'm going to do when I come back is we'll work on the cover, and then we'll sew in our pages. And then, of course, I'll have a final flip through to show you any final things that I did. Now, if there is something that I'm doing that, you know, you need to know something specific on how to do it, I will definitely be sure to share that with you all. This really adds some nice structure to the journal. But for right now, this is all that I'm going to do for this particular video. I know it's already late coming out, and I do apologize for that. I haven't figured out how to be graphic designing and crafting at the same time. I haven't figured out the flow. So all this time I've been doing, you know, design work. So I am doing stuff for you all. It's just going to come out later. Okay, so there is our journal. Thank you all so much for joining me. I do hope that you are enjoying this process and that you've picked up your Petals and Letters collection. I'll have everything linked down below in the description box, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everyone.